Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you all for tuning in. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, so make sure that you subscribe right now. Press that bell notification so that you don't miss my next upload. So today is going to be a video on my 1-year stay in Chicago. It's actually been a little over a year, maybe a year and 3 or 4 months, but this is my 1-year update for living in Chicago in case you guys are considering relocating or if you're just kind of interested. So stay tuned. So I do have a list of things that I kind of want to go over. So I will be looking down at my notes because sometimes I just can't remember all of that. So yeah, the first thing is the cost of living. So what I will say, the housing is kind of up there, but that is kind of expected if you're going to live in a popular metropolitan area, even in the suburbs of Chicago. So, and when I say suburbs, I mean the close suburbs. So meaning Oak Park, which is like literally 10 minutes away from the city line of Chicago. So for instance, a studio could be $2,000 if you want to live in a mid to high rise apartment building. So kind of expect those higher prices. Now there are definitely areas or buildings that are affordable, and affordable can be subjective, but there are areas where you can pay under $2,000, maybe in the $1,500 range for a 1-bedroom or a studio. It just kind of depends on your style, where you want to live, what you want the amenities to look like, what you want the building to look like, the area, the crime rate around that area, and things like that. But as far as if you want to live in a mid-rise or a high-rise, yeah, you can definitely expect to be paying a little under $2,000 at minimum per month. And I want to say that's not including utilities. So cost of living is definitely up there, but it kind of is expected, I guess. So originally I am from St. Louis, so it's definitely not as big of a metropolitan city. So the gas is gonna definitely be a shock. So I just came back from a trip. Gas was like $3 and something in St. Louis. And that's for regular. In Chicago, it's definitely gonna be $4.30 or $4.40, and that's for regular. So premium is gonna be an additional $1. So you're paying $5+ a gallon for a premium vehicle in the Chicagoland area. So dating. I think when it comes to dating, that kind of depends on the person, and that is for wherever you decide to relocate. So definitely Chicago has its own nightlife. I was fortunate enough to already know a couple of ladies that already lived here, and they were pretty well connected. So I was able to find out where the hot spots were. So that kind of helped me a lot when it came to meeting new people in the dating scene and just friendship-wise, platonic. So you definitely have to put yourself out there. You cannot be afraid. Even if that's just joining a group on Facebook, connecting with somebody on IG, you need to know people who live here, because without that, it could be a delay of your process. So you want to meet people who already live here. They're going to know where to go. They're going to know where not to go as far as safety or just not a vibe that you may want. So me already knowing people before I moved here, it definitely helped me out. So I do suggest that, highly suggest that. But as far as dating, I think it goes by the person. Me personally, I have not had any trouble in that area because I'm pretty outgoing. I do go out enough. I would say not every weekend, but I definitely go out enough. So I'm constantly running into new people. And put your best foot forward. That's what I can say. If you know that you are kind of looking for a relationship or you're looking for something a little consistent, you have to put yourself out there. I'm not a lady who approaches men, but I definitely I'm affable and I look relatively approachable, I guess. So I put myself out there. I go out, I have fun, and I basically do me. And whoever approaches me or they notice the glow, they notice the glow. What I can also suggest is if you're not a person who goes out, try to connect with people around your age at work. Likely they've been on the job longer than you, especially if you relocated for the job, so they are more familiar with the city and things like that. So if you're not a person who goes out a lot and you just don't have connections already made, try to go out with your coworkers. That at least gets you out of your apartment, that gets you out of your living space, that gets you out of your job and into the city. Because relocating is not, for me at least, relocating is not just about the job. It's about being in that city. Otherwise, you could move to Alaska and like, who would care? But you chose to relocate to a certain city for certain reasons. So get out of your house, get off of your couch, and get outside. Next, we are going to talk about the weather. So when they say the Windy City, they mean it, okay? The wind in Chicago during the winter is something completely different. And I am originally just from the Midwest, not from Illinois, but the Midwest, Missouri. It's not the same. And Chicagoans will be like, well, you're from Missouri, you should know. It is not the same, and don't let anybody try to fool you. Like me just walking to the corner store in a parka, the wind hit me so hard I started crying. Like literally tears were coming out of my eyes. Like it was cold AF. Like it's no joke. So and I don't even live by the lake. I don't live by the lake. I don't live by a body of water. So you don't have to be in the heart of the city to even feel this cold. So yeah, they call it the Windy City for a reason. I will also say, if you are a person who hates the cold and you want to wear sleeveless all the time, you want to be in the sun, Chicago may not be for you. Honestly, it may not be, because Chicago only really has about, I would say, 3 to 5, close, maybe even 4 good months of nice weather. And I mean nice weather where you're not wearing a jacket, you're not wearing too much because it may get cold in the nighttime. It's only about 3 to 4 months of that, honestly. So if you're not a person who can adapt to a colder environment almost all year round, Chicago may not be for you, and I'm sorry. It's something that I had to learn myself too. So if you're a Florida person or you like the vibe of Texas, you want a warmer area, Chicago is not going to be for you, because it's only warm but a few months out of the year. So next is finding a job. I moved here for a job, so obviously I had a direct plug-in for employment. And I also am interested in working 100% remote. So my job search, just moving forward, it's going to look a little different than those who are okay with working on site. So, but from what I can see, the job market isn't too terrible. Of course, it depends on what you do, what industry you're in, what kind of salary you're looking for, and where. Because there are certain jobs in the city of Chicago and there are certain jobs in the suburbs or the suburban area surrounding Chicago. So it just kind of depends. But from what I can see, it's not super difficult for people to find new jobs. I do know a lot of people in the city, and 3 of my friends have already gotten new jobs, and their search wasn't that long. All of their positions are on site though. But I guess if it's remote, it doesn't really matter where the job is located. But yeah, they have on-site positions. They recently transitioned and it wasn't too difficult. So yeah. Now, as far as crime, so I know that Chicago is like always on the news. Even my parents are like, did you see what happened in Chicago? My friend from back home. Did you hear what happened in this nightclub? Did you see who shot who? I honestly, I don't, and maybe, you know, I'm just blessed. I don't know. But I just have not been in those. I haven't seen that stuff. I haven't. I've had a great time in Chicago so far. It's been excellent. I have not seen a lot of crime. I think the kind of most off-putting thing that I have experienced was I was out with some friends. My friend she was kind of all by herself. I had walked over to meet somebody else that I knew there. Then apparently some guy assaulted her, like as she was just standing minding her own business. Then the girlfriend of the guy basically tried to address my friend as if she did something wrong, when in fact it was the boyfriend who assaulted my friend. So we called the police, everything, like it was a whole deal. And this was in the city. We were just out. It was a day party, but it was closer to the end of the party. So you just kind of have to be careful about things like that. Some people just really don't have things to lose. They don't have anything to lose. They have a lot of drama, trauma, and everything else, which is a different story in itself. But that was kind of the most off-putting thing. Like, they were really trying to attack my friend. And then as I and our other friend got involved, it was like a whole big thing directed towards us, when in fact it was my friend who was the one that was a victim in the situation. So, and I can probably do a longer story time on that if you guys want, but it was a crazy night. Like it was wild. The nightlife in Chicago, it can get a little interesting, but you have to be safe. And that's anywhere that you live. Anywhere that you live, it's up to you to be safe and put yourself in safe environments. Obviously, things can happen without your control. So that's all I can kind of say on that. But as far as the things that you may have heard on the news or about the mayor or I don't know, all the craziness that happens in Chicago, I personally have not experienced that. Okay guys, so that wraps up my video. Again, make sure you subscribe right now. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers within the next few months. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. You know you don't want to miss these videos. So subscribe right now. Make sure you press a like. Leave me a comment on if you have any questions or about what I said, or if you have any questions that I didn't address in this video. I will definitely answer them. I do think relocating is really important, especially in your late 20s, early 30s. Relocate, especially if you've been in your home city for your entire life, probably even went to college in your home city or home state. Relocate. Like, my life has really transformed because I've relocated when it comes to dating, my confidence, and just being social, my confidence and my independence. It's just changed so much, and it's changed for the better. So I definitely recommend relocating for anyone just even considering it. I do suggest having a position already lined up for yourself. Like, I wouldn't be that daring to just move to a city and be like, you know, I'll figure it out when I get there. But yeah, I suggest finding a job first, which is what I did, and then relocate. And hopefully the company can pay for your relocation. Unless you have like a business or something that's kind of holding you there, move. Definitely move. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again next time.